All right, here we are. So this is the 6-2 notes, equations of circles. And so here is our equation for a circle. We've got the x value squared plus the y value squared equals the radius squared. Now as far as moving your circle from left to right, up, down, that's going to be done with the with your h and k values. So h will be, or sorry, h k is going to be your radius, how far left to right it goes, and how far up and down it goes. Notice there minus h and minus k, so if it was x minus 3 or squared plus y plus 2 squared, your radius is going to be at 3, negative 2. And we'll take a look at that right now, kind of here in our first few examples. So, number one, or part one here, we're given that it's through the center of the circle is at 2, negative 3, and the radius is 6. So we've got x minus 2, that's the x value, squared, plus y minus negative 3, which what is y minus negative 3? That's really just plus 3. So y plus 3 squared equals the radius squared. Now what is the radius? The radius is 6. So what is 6 squared? Well, that's 36. All right. Number two, we've got our, or B rather, we've got our center at negative 1/2, 4. So that's x plus 1/2 squared plus our y value squared. So y minus 4 squared equals, again, the radius squared. And what's the square root of 7 squared? Well, that's 7. All right. And then number, or C here, it says that the points 2, negative 2, 2, and 4, 6 are endpoints of the diameter. And so I'm going to kind of just sketch a little picture to help myself understand what's going on here. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, negative 2, 2, negative 2, up 2, somewhere right around there. And next 4, 6, so over 4, up 6, right around there. And that's my diameter. So I've got a circle that's, let's go with a new color, something looking like that. Here's my, these are endpoints. They're on the circle. They're the endpoints of the diameter. The diameter is the line that goes across through the center of the circle. And so, hey, we can figure out what our center of the circle is because it's going to be the midpoint between those 2 points. That's where the center will be at since this is a diameter we're given the endpoints of. So how do you find your midpoint? Well, it's the average of the x's and then the average of the y's. So the formula is going to be x1 plus x2 all over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. And for us, we've got, let's see here, 2 plus, oh, sorry, negative 2 plus 4 divided by 2, again, the average of the x's, and then 2 plus 6 divided by 2, the average of the y's. So that's going to be negative 2 plus 4 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. So 1 comma, and that's 8 divided by 2, 1 comma 4. That's our center. Now how do we use it? We plug it in. So we've got x minus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals the radius squared. Now how are we going to find the radius of this? We're given the diameter, so we'll need to go through the distance formula and to find out what that diameter is, and then remember a radius is half of that. So we'll find our distance and then we'll divide it by 2. So our diameter is twice the radius. So if we can find the length of the diameter, then cut that in half, now we'll know our radius and we can plug that in for radius squared. All right, so let's find our diameter, our length there. So if you know the distance formula, you can plug in all your information. That's d equals the square root of x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2, again, squared. Or if you're memorizing formulas just isn't your thing, you can always use the Pythagorean theorem because we've got a right triangle here with our A, B, and the diameter being C. So what's and again, it's the same information, just written in a different way. Here's your A value. What's the difference in the X's? Here's your B value. What's the difference in your Y values? And then take the square root of A squared plus B squared equals C squared. B squared equals C squared. And if you take the square root of that, you're really right back to the distance formula. So that all being said, let's find our distance. So what is the difference in the X values? Well, we've got let's see, -2 minus 4, so -6, and that's -2 minus 4 squared plus 2, not -6, -4. Maybe I shouldn't try to skip steps, so we'll plug everything in. -2 minus 4 squared plus 2 minus 6 squared, and then we're going to take the square root of all that, and that will be our diameter. So that is -6 squared plus -4 squared, 36 plus 16. And let's get ourselves some more room over here. 36 plus 15, or plus 16, that's going to give us 52. So the diameter equals, sorry, square root of all these. Diameter equals the square root of 52, which we can simplify down as, let's see, 52. So what goes into 52? Well, 2 goes into that, gives us 26. 2 goes into 26, gives us 13, and 13 is the only thing that goes into that. So we've got 2 root 13 is equal to our diameter. Now remember though, the diameter is twice the radius. The diameter equals 2 times the radius. So we're going to divide both sides by 2 to get down to our radius. And so really getting rid of the times 2 out front. So our radius is going to be the square root of 13. And back here in the context of the problem, remember the radius squared is what we're having. This will be equal to. So equals 13. All right, hope that helped.